Hello, my name is Simon. I've been coming to Mpower People CIC for probably about 8 years. I got a referral to Michelle at Mpower, and it was for mental health support for the most part. I got a mental health diagnosis when I was quite young, and I've struggled with my mental health all my life. I found when I started coming to Empower People, it's slightly different in as much as like the support you get from Empower it's broader than generally other forms of therapy. So it's like a kind of it's like a group support. So I mean, I've had so much help in like a lot of different ways from Empower. There's like kind of practical things. For instance, there's been things like benefits and benefit support, like financial advice. The support from Empower's it's very, very broad. So there's like lots of different activities, and some of the stuff, to be honest, when I first started coming, I thought that's like a little bit weird, that, because like some of it was like art therapy, and I thought, what the bloody hell's art therapy? But it's weird because after engaging in some of this stuff, it has such a kind of positive effect on your mental health. So it's a bit weird the way it kind of works. So if you ask me to kind of, if you said just sum it up in one line, I think it'd be quite difficult, because there's so many different ways in which Empower has like helped me. One of the other things that is like really, really helpful is just the actual group support, because sometimes with mental health is like especially if you're struggling with your mental health, it can be like very, very isolating. So coming into a group where you don't feel judged, I mean, there's just no judgments. People just accept you for who you are. It's quite a powerful thing, actually, to feel kind of accepted by people and not judged by people. It really kind of I know for myself personally, it's made such a difference having that support, having somewhere where you can always kind of, you might be having an awful day, but there's always going to be somebody there, and somebody who will listen to you. So there's like kind of there's a lot about Empower is sort of, a lot of it is like emotional support, and then there's, as I say, there's also kind of, there's a lot of like very practical day-to-day things. Like, for instance, in the past when I moved flat and I didn't have any furniture, I didn't have a lot of stuff for the kitchen, so Empower helped me get all that kind of stuff sorted out. As I say, problems with me benefits and things like that, getting that kind of stuff sorted out. So there's so many ways in which and so many different activities, as I mentioned before about art thing. But then there was also, like, for instance, cooking, because like cooking can be quite difficult, especially if I mean, one of the things for me personally is like a problem of apathy, where you just kind of can't be bothered, and like someone says cook a meal, you're like, oh, I can't be bothered. And it's little things. It's kind of, there's like classes we've had about cooking and how to prepare meals. So it's just like and it's kind of stuff you don't really get from, for instance, I've had counsellors and stuff and psychologists with the NHS, and that's been brilliant, but that's kind of a very focused single sort of thing. It's great to have, but it is sort of kind of quite narrow. I'd say that the support from Empower is very, very broad. I couldn't sort of really put it down to one single thing, because it's for me personally, it's helped in so many ways. I mean, from when I first started, when I was in kind of quite a dark place, it's really helped me with me confidence. It's helped me to talk to people. I mean, people in air sources, they even say to me sometimes, they say, oh, when you started, you didn't want to speak to anyone, you wanted to go and sit on your own in a little room, and like now, for instance, you're just a lot more confident, you're a lot more outgoing, you like talking to people. It's helped with things like looking towards the future for things like getting back, the possibility of getting back into work. There's that kind of like employment support. So, Michelle at Mpower, well, not just Michelle, the people generally at Mpower are just so helpful and supportive. And yeah, they've made such a massive, they just made such a massive difference to my life. So I would really, I think I'd struggle if I didn't have the support of Mpower. I think I'd really, I just because I've made such a lot of progress, and I'm still. It's for me. It's like it's still an ongoing journey. I've still got like, I've still got a long way to go, but it's having that support to help. And I just think there should be more things like Mpower in society, because we have got this like big mental health crisis, and services are just so thin on the ground. It's like it's no secret, isn't it? You can't get appointments at doctors and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So having somewhere you can go, and there's a friendly, warm environment where there's always help here, and basically you'd always go home after Mpower feeling better than what you did when you started. So it's I can't praise them highly enough, really. So to be honest, I could probably talk all day about Mpower, but I think I just wanted to kind of try and explain a little bit about why I think they're so helpful, and why we need Mpower People. I'm going to be honest, the thought really frightens me, because I just wouldn't be where I don't know. Do you know what? Over the years, I've been in and out of crisis teams so many times, and since basically coming to Mpower, I've not been into the crisis team. So no offense, it's saving the taxpayer money. Do you know what I mean? It's so the support that Mpower gives it's just, to be honest, it's priceless. So I think it would be a terrible shame. It would be a real terrible shame if Mpower lost its financial support, because it's not just me. There's just, over the years, there's so many. I mean, literally, you couldn't count the number of people. And no offense, like, it's the knock-on effect. I mean, myself personally, I'm not a parent, but I know a lot of mothers and fathers come in here, and Mpower's, through helping them, it's helped their kids. So it's just like a ripple effect. It spreads outwards. So I seriously hope that Mpower does receive more funding in the future, because the service it provides is just priceless.